Rowan Atkinson, the man who gave life to Mr. Bean, one of the most beloved comedic characters of all time, has another passion. One that's far removed from the world of slapstick comedy and awkward silence. Rowan is a certified car enthusiast with collections of automobiles that would make any gearhead weak at the knees. What many people don't know is that Atkinson isn't just a casual car collector. He's the kind of guy who doesn't mind getting his hands dirty under the hood and is genuinely obsessed with the mechanics and art of automobiles. The estimated value of his collection, a jaw-dropping $15 million. But it's not just about the price tag, it's about the story behind each car. The crashes, the races, and the sheer love Rowan has for each one of these mechanical marvels. And trust me, one of these cars has a tale so surprising you won't want to miss it. Wait till the end to find out. So buckle up as we take a deep dive into Rowan Atkinson's jaw-dropping car collection filled with automotive treasures, incredible details, and of course, a few bumps along the road. Let's start with the crown jewel of Rowan Atkinson's collection, the McLaren F1. This isn't just any car, it's a legend on four wheels. The McLaren F1 was introduced in the 1990s, and at that time it was the fastest production car in the world. This beast boasts a top speed of 240 miles an hour and can go from 0 to 60 in just 3.2 seconds. That's faster than Mr. Bean could ever run away from his mishaps. Rowan bought his McLaren back in 1997 for around £640,000. Now, you might think that's a steep price, but here's the kicker. Today, the McLaren F1 is valued at well over £10 million. Talk about a good investment. But Atkinson wasn't one to lock this supercar away in a garage. No, he drove it regularly. Took it on country drives, attended car events, he even commuted in it. However, that kind of usage does not come without its risks. In 2011, Rowan was involved in a major crash with his McLaren F1. The damage? Just a little scrape plus a repair bill of £910,000. Despite the accident, the value of the car only skyrocketed after it was restored. In 2015, he decided to sell the car for a whopping £8 million. That's not just a car with a story. It's a car that defies logic by appreciating in value even after a crash. Only Rowan Atkinson could pull that off. Next up is Rowan's Aston Martin V8 Vantage Zagato, a car as rare as a Mr. Bean smile. Only 50 of these cars were ever produced, making it a highly sought-after collector's item. The Zagato version of the Aston Martin V8 Advantage is distinguished by its bold muscular design and that roaring V8 engine under the hood. Rowan bought this beauty late in the 80s for around £100,000, which was a significant sum at the time. However, Rowan didn't treat this car like a fragile museum piece. He's a racer at heart, and he proved it by entering the V8 Vantage Zagato in several racing events, including the Aston Martin Owners Club race at Silverstone. Atkinson pushed the car to its limits on the track, showing that even a rare collector's item like this could be put to good use. Eventually, in 2016, Atkinson parted ways with this rare gem, selling it for about £500,000. That's quite the return on investment, but more importantly, it's a reflection of how much joy Rowan got from owning and driving this rare machine. Rowan Atkinson's love with Aston Martins extends beyond the modern marvels to vintage classics like the Aston Martin DB2. First introduced in the early 1950s, the DB2 is widely regarded as one of the most iconic models in Aston Martin's storied history. The DB2 was a revolutionary car for its time, featuring a straight-six engine designed by the legendary engineer W.O. Bentley, and it was one of the cars that solidified Aston Martin's reputation in motorsports, particularly Le Mans. Rowan's DB2 is no exception in terms of pedigree. It presents a golden era of British motoring and racing heritage. Although this particular car has seen better days, Rowan, being the hands-on car enthusiast he is, takes great pleasure in restoring and maintaining it himself. His dedication to keeping this historic gem in pristine condition showcases his deep admiration for the craftsmanship and legacy that comes with owning such a car. In terms of value, Rowan's DB2 is likely worth around £300,000, but to Atkinson, its worth far exceeds the price tag. This isn't just a luxury vehicle, it's a tangible piece of automotive history. Rowan's meticulous care for the DB2 reflects his passion for preserving a part of British motoring legacy. If there's one thing Rowan Atkinson knows, it's how to balance classic charm with modern power. Enter the Mercedes-Benz SLS-AMG, a car that perfectly exemplifies that balance. The SLS-AMG is famous for its striking gull-wing doors, a nod to the classic Mercedes 300 SL from the 50s. Don't be fooled by the vintage aesthetics. This car packs a punch with a 6.2-liter V8 engine, churning out 563 horsepower. Rowan purchased this car for about £200,000, and unlike some of the more iconic or rare cars in his collection, the SLS-AMG served as a regular road car for Rowan. He's been spotted cruising in it around the UK, and honestly, can you blame him? The SLS-AMG is a thing of beauty, blending speed, luxury, and a bit of nostalgia. Of course, Rowan Atkinson's car collection wouldn't be complete without a Rolls-Royce, specifically the Rolls-Royce Phantom Coupe, a car that oozes luxury from every inch. The Phantom Coupe is the epitome of British craftsmanship, with its sleek design, lavish interiors, and a V12 engine that provides a supremely smooth ride. Rowan acquired this car for around £350,000, and it's one of the few cars in his collection that he didn't buy for its racing pedigree or speed. Instead, this car's for one of those days when Rowan just wants to ride in style. But here's a fun fact. Rowan actually used his Phantom Coupe in the James Bond spoof movie Johnny English Reborn. In a way, the car's a co-star in one of Rowan's most famous films. And now, the Phantom Coupe is still part of Rowan's collection, and it remains a symbol of timeless luxury. Rowan Atkinson isn't just about supercars and luxury vehicles. He also has a deep appreciation for rally legends, as evidenced by his Lancia Delta Integral. The Delta Integral is a car with serious rally pedigree, having dominated the World Rally Championships in the late 80s and 90s. Rowan purchased this piece of automotive history for a modest 25,000 quid, but to him, it's worth much more. The Lancia Delta Integral may not be as glamorous as some of the other cars in his collection, but it's a car that speaks to Rowan's love for driving. It's raw, it's rugged, and it's built for one thing: performance. It's not surprising that a true car enthusiast like Rowan would be drawn to something as legendary as the Delta Integral. Keeping with the British theme, Rowan Atkinson also owns a Besley Mulsanne Birkin edition, one of the only 22 ever made. This car is the definition of handcrafted luxury, with a 6.75-liter V8 engine that delivers both power and grace. Priced at over £300,000, the Mulsanne Birkin edition is a tribute to Sir Henry Tim Birkin, one of Britain's most famous racing drivers from the 1920s. Rowan's love for British engineering and motorsports is evident in his choice. The Mulsanne Birkin edition is a car that blends history with modern luxury, and owning one's like having a piece of British racing heritage in your garage. While Rowan's collection is largely dominated by European cars, he does have an appreciation for Japanese innovation, as demonstrated by his Honda NSX. The NSX was a revolutionary car when it was introduced, bringing supercar performance at a relatively affordable price. With its lightweight design and mid-engine layout, the NSX is often referred to as Japan's Ferrari. Rowan bought this car for around £85,000, and like many of those cars in his collection, he actually drives it. The NSX is one of those cars that appeals to driving pursuits, people who care about balance, handling, and the pure joy of being behind the wheel. What's remarkable about Rowan's car collection is that it's not just a museum of expensive toys. Each car tells a story, whether it's the McLaren F1 that survived 2 crashes, the Aston Martin V8 Advantage Zagato that Rowan raced on the track, or the Rolls-Royce Phantom Coupe that played a role in one of his movies. Rowan's collection isn't just about owning valuable assets, it's about his deep, almost emotional connection to each of these machines. In total, his collection's valued at around £15 million. But for Rowan, the true value lies in the experience of driving these cars, pushing them to their limits, and appreciating the craftsmanship that goes into each one. Rowan Atkinson's car collection is a reflection of his lifelong passion for speed, engineering, and craftsmanship. From supercars like the McLaren F1 to classic British luxury in the form of a Rolls-Royce, his garage is a testament to his love for cars in all their forms. And while some of his cars have come and gone, each one has left its mark on Rowan, just as he's left his mark on the automotive world. So, if you ever find yourself stuck in traffic next to a car that looks like it belongs in a museum, check the driver's seat. It might just be Rowan Atkinson enjoying the ride of his life. We're committed to releasing 3 videos a week. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more luxury videos.